figured I should do a little introduction of some description. It's kind of a difficult one to do, because the whole point of setting up some sort of blog, whatever you want to call it, is just because I have lots of things going on up here and lots of time on my hands. Who knows, somebody out there might find it vaguely interesting. So what am I going to talk about? Well, it kind of depends on what mood I'm in. It's difficult to make an introduction to something which could be all kinds of things. Suppose I should mention a bit about myself. That's probably a good place to start. So, what about me? Well, I have bipolar disorder. It's classified as mixed. I don't know if that's just wording, if it's actually bipolar disorder NOS, not otherwise specified, or what. I don't know. I also have borderline personality disorder, and having the two together makes things a bit more complicated. I know that some people out there might say, well, are you sure that you actually have the two? Because yes, they are quite closely related symptomatically in some ways, not in others, but yes, it's not a self-diagnosis. I personally don't agree with self-diagnosis of any sort. It's a very potentially very dangerous thing if you go about self-diagnosing, which is unfortunately one of the downsides to having all the information at your fingertips with the internet. But yeah, I have an official diagnosis of both of those things, so I'm sure I'll probably end up talking about those at some point. Let's see the thing, I'm gay. It's there, it's not an issue. Whether or not something crops up that happens to involve that, I don't know. It's one of those things. It is a part of me. I am not a part of it. So I'm not going to do anything which is what you might consider to be stereotypically gay, because as you might have noticed, I'm not looking particularly stereotypically gay. But while we're on the subject, if anybody does watch any of these videos and they have a problem with that, then there really isn't any point putting it in the comments. You know, go tell it to someone who cares, because if you're just going to sit there and throw out 1,000,001 insults that a 3-year-old could have made up, most of which I've probably heard at some point before, you know, you're just wasting your time, because I really couldn't give a damn about your opinion. So some people might say, well, you're opening yourself up to prejudices by putting things online. Well, that is true. But having said that, I think I would reply with, if your only point of having access to the internet and going on YouTube is to insult people, really, that's a bit pathetic. It's very pathetic. So yeah, save your time. Go and insult someone who will actually give you some sort of a reaction, because it's not going to be from me. What else? I tend to write a lot of music, read a lot of philosophy, so philosophy will probably crop up I'll probably end up ranting about whatever's on my mind at the time, which usually involves some sort of popular culture and how much it's pissing me off at the time. Oh, I paint a lot. It keeps me busy. It gives me something to do. I like to create things, so painting is quite a natural thing for me to do, as is writing, whether it be music or poetry or prose. So I do that. For those of you who may be thinking, well, why do you have all this time on your hands? Yes, at the moment I don't work. It's not a case of not wanting to work, I should point that out. It's simply a case of not being on the right medication at the moment to have me as stable as I would need to be to hold down a job properly, and having not had the correct therapies yet to get me to the stage whereby dealing with people on a day-to-day basis, where it's able to be coped with. I can elaborate more about that when it comes to talking about the bipolar and borderline interactions and what have you. With that being said, if anybody is going to comment on any video and do the whole sort of benefits scrounger line, the same applies to you as it does to the homophobes. Quite frankly, I don't care about your opinion at all. If you're going to judge somebody just on that, wow, it's a little bit pathetic again. So I suppose I should sign off and think about what I'm going to do for the first proper video, but this is just me saying hi. And what I should have started the video with would be to say that my name is Dan, Danny, Daniel, whatever. Really, I don't mind. So yeah, this is me, this is my channel, and no doubt I'll be bombarding you with umpteen kinds of rubbish at some point.